Ty, just when you take a step back now, how do you envision yourself as being a part of this future, this organization, and just what do you see that looking like?
In terms of
basketball wise, like with the young group of players that you guys have at this point, and kind of going into that direction?
yeah, I mean, I think you just do whatever's asked of you. Obviously, leading by example with a younger locker room is the easiest way to go about it, and just kind of, people see what you do every day from the weight room to the court to how you prepare for games, and they can take what they want. Leading by example is always been my preferred way of leadership. Obviously, there's bits and pieces, but I think when you over talk, it can kind of get a little played out. But I think you just do whatever's asked of you. I've learned in this league that things change fast, and you don't always have control over a situation. So, I keep saying that do whatever's asked of you part, but that's really what it is. You're an employee, and that's the key.
Kind of on that note, you signed here last summer, and I imagine the intention was the team was going to be competing right away. And then obviously the franchise pivoted mid-season, and now it's a younger build. Who knows what that timeline looks like? Given where you are in your career, playing really good basketball right now, are you totally comfortable with the direction of the franchise and being part of a younger build that maybe takes some time to grow into a contender again?
Yeah, I'm absolutely open to being here. Obviously, I would love to compete. I would hope we are a competitive team next year. I don't see why we couldn't be with the guys we have in the locker room and the coaching staff we have. I think that is a competitive group. I'm not saying we're going to win the championship next year, but I think we have a competitive group if we stay healthy. But whatever direction the organization goes in, I'm definitely open to being a part of it here.
A couple of related things, I guess. Back at the beginning of the season, I think you were in the same spot, doing this. You talked about how you didn't think you had really been better the year before. You'd just been healthy. You'd had that opportunity to have the season you had in Cleveland because of the health. Obviously, this season didn't go the way you wanted to from a health perspective, but when you played, your numbers were as good, if not better, than last season in Cleveland. So how hard was it you to sort of deal with the injury, deal with a injury again after you had that healthy season? And what confidence does what you did on the floor give you going into next year? And sort of related to that, do you feel like you were used much differently when you did play for the Grizzlies, or was it similar to in the past?
To your first question, yeah, anytime you got to deal with an injury that keeps you out for an extended period of time, it's difficult. Basketball is, what I love to do, so it's, anytime I'm away from the game for two months, it's definitely difficult to deal with. But after you get your diagnosis, you figure out how you attack your rehab, and you put all the emotions aside. And then I think to your question, I don't think I'm necessarily used differently. I think my usage rate was just higher. But the numbers are probably similar to last year, and I think, like I said, my usage rate was just probably higher. So I just more shots and more.
You feel like you were more of a pure point guard, because I did notice the usage rate increase.
Yeah, like I said, the ball was probably in my hands more, but that was just probably. If I had to think, most of the time I was playing next to like wings and bigs, where like last year I usually had another guard on the floor next to me. But I think that can probably be shown in that usage rate thing too. But yeah, like the ball probably definitely more like primary. But like I said, I probably said that in the beginning when you asked me. I'm comfortable on the ball, off the ball, whatever's asked of me.
There's a lot of talk when you signed about the fit within the system, and I know it's a limited sample, just 15 games, but how do you think Tomas' system accentuated your strengths and how you fit into that?
Yeah, it's a ton of ball screens, a ton of you're playing fast is the first thing, and I think, when I'm in the open court, I think it highlights my decision making, ability to read an open floor. Transition's the easiest place to play basketball. And then I think it's after that, it's a lot of ball screens, the primary guy, which I think I excel in.